Happy holidays and seasons. Greetings. My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench, guys, for another episode of our 12 Sprues of Kit-mas holiday build series. Today we are moving on with day number 3, so I'm very excited to see what we have in store for us today. Let's go ahead and grab that box and punch on through. As you can see here, we've got 1 and 2 down. We're moving on to day number 3. First 2 kits have been really fun. I've had a lot of good times with those. Let's go ahead and punch in through this one and see what we have in store for us for day number 3. And I got the label right here. Let's go ahead and check it out. Put this box aside just real quick, and let's go ahead and flip this label. Okay, all right. I was a little bit worried I'd get this kit. It's the MiG-27 by Academy. Now, I have not heard good things about this kit. I've heard it's completely wrong in terms of shape. I know it doesn't have the right weapon loadouts at all. It's got a drop tank mounted to the movable part of the wing, and I'm pretty sure that the actual MiG-27 didn't have that ability. But again, I'm not an expert on MiG-27, so I wouldn't necessarily 100% know. This is an Academy kit though, so I have a feeling it'll probably be pretty simplistic. I know for a fact we're not going to have any detail in that cockpit, so I'm thinking we're just going to black out the canopy and make it an ornament. I'd already kind of mentioned that that would be my initial plan for this kit, and yeah, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Instructions don't look all that bad though, so it should be pretty quick. Hopefully it'll go together nicely. So that means I got to tuck in the landing gears. I have to basically just remove the cockpit. No need to having any of that in there. And then I go ahead and button everything up, throw a hook on it, paint it, and we're good to go. In terms of plastic, everything looks pretty clean and crisp. I have no idea what the age of this kit is. Doesn't look too bad though, in terms of just basic panel lines and plastic. So at least I'm hoping it's going to make a really nice little ornament that I can throw on the tree. Again, no detail whatsoever in the cockpit, so I'm just going to black out that canopy and not even worry about it. In terms of weaponry, guys, we've got some drop tanks, it looks like. We've got some missiles. We have some rocket pods. We have some bombs. We do have our clear parts here, of course. I'm going to go ahead and black those out, which means I have to mask off the framing, and then I hit the inside with a nice black color, and that should be great. Otherwise, plastic looks okay. It does have movable wings, so that's going to be interesting to see how that comes together. Hopefully, I can keep them moving throughout the build. And I think we're going to jump into our first time lapse. I don't see any reason why we should waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump on there and get some basic assembly done. I want to go ahead and fill up all the seams I can. I also want to tuck in the landing gears, close up those gear bay doors. That's going to require a little bit of seam filling as well. And then we'll check the seams with some black paint. We'll get in the canopy masking, and we'll finally finish off with some white primer. So let's go ahead and get on with it, guys. Let's start this party, see what we can do. Alright everybody, so we are back, and as you can see, we've got the MiG-27 in primer. We used a white Staunerez primer, and I honestly can't really complain. It seems to cover well enough, so we're good with that. Next, of course, we have to move on to some pre-shade and then painting and all that, so we do have a little bit more to do for sure. Now, I was looking at some of the fit here, and the landing gear bay doors didn't really want to fit, so I had to kind of wedge them in place. It did cover up, and I used a little bit of Mr. Surfacer to fill up the seams, so at least that's good. As you can see, the wings do move, so that's kind of neat. I can throw them out or push them back in. Honestly, yeah, it's not terrible. We're going to jump in now to some pre-shade, and I've got some NATO black for that. That's going to act as a nice pre-shade coat. I was trying to figure out if I should use like a tan color, like this Mission Models paint right here. I don't really like it. It looks a little bit too pale. I might fool around with it, but I'm going to stick with some field green, and we're going to stick with some desert sand yellow. Then, of course, for the undersurface, I've got some light blue right here, and I think that should be a good, decent paint spread to go ahead and get this thing all painted up. Now, the box art actually shows a 3-tone camo. The instructions only talk about 2 colors. I think it should be a 3-tone, not a 2-tone scheme, but I don't have the right colors to go ahead and make it a 3-tone, and so I'm just going to go ahead and build it right out of the box and just follow the instructions. So let's go ahead and jump into our next time lapse, guys, get that pre-shade going, then go ahead and work out the camo colors, and then get it nicely sealed up, ready for decals. We're getting there, guys. Let's keep pushing on. All right, everybody, we are back, and as you can see, the MiG-27 has been painted and gloss coated. So yeah, I'm happy enough with it. The colors aren't necessarily right. I mean, it's fine. It's just going to go on the tree anyway to add a little bit of color and a little bit of life to the tree. So I'm not too concerned about it. In fact, funny story, when I was a kid, I actually had a little die-cast MiG-27 airplane, and it was actually these colors. It was a sand color and also that field green. So this actually is kind of nostalgic for me. We're going to go ahead and move on now to decals, though. I'll go ahead and use my very typical typical microsalt and microset combination. That's going to be great for these decals, and I've got some pretty hot water off at the side that I can use for dipping my decals. Last couple of kits I have done here for Academy, I've used really quite hot water, and it's worked great. So I'm hoping that this time around it'll work just the same. So let's go ahead and jump back into that time lapse, guys. It should be the last one of the day for this model, and we're going to go ahead and apply those decals, seal it once they're dry, come back with a little bit of AKA panel liner weathering, get some powders on there, and then hit it with a flat top coat, and we are good to go. Go ahead and keep it going, guys. We're almost done. We'll see you back in a few. All right, everybody. Well, we are done. The MiG-27 is wrapped up. Day 3 is finished. I got to tell you, the kit itself, not the best model out there. I had a lot of trouble with fit issues around the different panels for the landing gear bay covers. The wings do move, which is kind of cool. A little gimmicky, but it is actually kind of interesting. This is how it turned out. As you can see, it's definitely an ornament. So this is, again, meant for my Christmas tree. It's not meant for anything other than that. It's not really an award-winning model. It's okay, though. It is kind of cool, and it has a general shape of MiG-27. We've got the hook there installed. It is still a nice little model, and I had fun building it. I did add some copper BBs in the very front of the aircraft so that it would sit a bit more nose down. So I think that looks okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop this on the tree and move on to day number 4. So honestly, yeah, not too bad. For the weapon loadout, I did end up taking off the drop tank points here on the movable part of the wing. Just added one drop tank, threw some bombs and some rocket pods on there. I would have preferred to replace the bombs with more rocket pods, but we only had 2 here in the kit, so we are fine. I'm not going to spend any money on this kit, to be honest. It's just kind of fun. Throw it on the tree there, we're good to go. I did black out the undersurface of the canopy, as you can see there. That went over well, no problem there. We do, of course, have that gun exposed there, that big Gatling gun, so that's cool. Otherwise, yeah, you know what? This isn't a terrible model. Yeah, it's not a really nice representation of a MiG-27, but for my purposes, for hanging on the Christmas tree right up next to my other Russian aircraft, that's absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today, guys. We're going to move on to day number 4. Try really hard to get that done for you by next episode. And until then, you know the drill. Go out there and get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. Hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back here real soon, guys.